This is the Acebeam E70, 46,000 lumens, and this is the new Acebeam X50, 40,000 lumens. Holy shit, this is amazing flashlight. I'm already loving it. The sheer banana that appears on your face when you double click the switch is unforgettable.
Hello YouTube, flashlight enthusiast here. I've been playing along with this new Acebeam X50 for a couple of days, and I have to tell you, wow. Just wow. I don't know how Acebeam was able to pack such amount of lumens, of sheer stupid output in such a compact design, make it sustainable for a good and reasonable amount of time, and even make it charging super fast. Well, I don't know, but guys, if you want me to answer the question right now, is it worth it? Should you buy it? The answer is absolutely yes. If you're looking for a stupid bright flashlight that is extremely well made, premium quality, and has amazing performance, sustainable output, and simply looks good, then this Acebeam X50 is probably the best choice right now on the market as of September 2021. So let's go to the review. Okay, first things first, I have an extremely luck with this X50, guys. First of all, I ordered a 5000K version because you know me, I prefer neutral white, and what I got after I opened the box is this pretty sticker on the 6500K cool white version. So not only did I get more lumens out of this little package, but I also got assured that this piece is special, and I will show you just how in a second. But let's see the box. As you can see, I have to change the angle of the camera because this box is quite big. I couldn't fit it in my camera angle standard, so I have to change it. But this box is really premium looking. Apart from that standard Acebeam look, so we've got the flashlight a little bit downsized in scale, Acebeam logo, the model here, some key features like the USB-C charging, power bank feature, safe lock, and beam angle, which is quite a significant feature of this flashlight. We also have, as you could see, the version. The green sticker will be here. Well, not this time, flashlight enthusiast, not this time. Here the Acebeam logo, and on the other side we've got some QR codes for their social and official website, and obviously some company details. Alright, so let me just open this up and show you what it does have in the package. So when you open this up, immediately you will get the premium look of this one. So the flashlight is already packed in this super cool looking holster. We've got some accessories here, and obviously the charger is included, and the charger is really special. So first things first, let me get the flashlight out. As you can see, the holster fits perfectly, and it sticks out a little bit out of the holster. I mean the X50. The Velcro is super nice to hear, holding tightly. Very nice. But let me show you the belt loop here, the D-ring, and obviously this is the Worldfold design, because not only you can actually attach it to the belt right that, but you also have the second loop which is fixed to the holster so that it can hold the flashlight even more securely. Okay, moving on. Obviously the flashlight will have this one attached here to remind you to remove the insulation. Obviously I played with it, so it is not attached anymore, but just remove it when the flashlight arrives. we've got quite long, the 2 meters USB-C to USB-C charging cable. As you can see, it is quite thick to deliver high currents. More of it later. Very high quality. I like the cable, and I actually charged the laptop with this cable without any problems, because this included charger is, as you can see, the 65 watt AC adapter. So you can either charge with 20 volts or 15 watts of 12, 9 and 5 volts. So you can either charge your X50 or even laptop, phone, or other similar devices. This is a smart charger, so it will adjust the current accordingly. Very high quality, the European plug, obviously. Non-removable, so nice, fixed, everything looks premium and excellent, well made. A USB-C port here, so overall it is very nice to include the charger in the set, and this is actually an important piece of equipment here, apart from the flashlight. Okay, so what do we have apart from that? We've got some leaflets. So obviously we've got the user manual, which is in English on one side and in, I believe, Chinese on the other, displaying all the key features, as well as modes of 2 different versions. So be sure to read this one before you operate. We also have warranty card and Acebeam warning about the lithium batteries. Okay. And apart from that, we also got the metal carrying handle. Believe me or not, but this one can be handy when the flashlight gets hot. You don't want to hold it with your bare hands. I used gloves personally, but if it's really hot out there, you can also use the handle, which is extremely well made from a single piece of aluminum, and it can be attached to the flashlight via the tripod mount without any additional tools. The screw is designed in a way so you can do it bare-handed, so very nice. And as you can see, we've got some additional accessories here in this Acebeam bag. So we've got obviously 2 spare O-rings, okay, very nice. We've got premium Acebeam lanyard, as you can see, adjustable wristband, paracord style, high quality. It might come in handy because the flashlight weighs almost 70 grams, so yeah, after a long run you might need this one. And here's the screw to attach the handle in this way. Okay, I will show you on the flashlight just in a moment, but as you can see, it does have this flip metal piece, so you can actually screw it down bare-handed without any tools, but if you'd like to use a screwdriver, it is also possible. Okay, moving on to the flashlight and the holster, let's unpack it and leave the holster for the time being. Look at this. Well, I could easily call it a piece of art. I mean, look at that. Before you actually start playing with this piece of art Acebeam X50, remember to remove the lens cover, not to affect the beam pattern, as well as unscrew the battery pack. Can you hear how smooth it is? The thread portion is quite long, and you will probably know these are thick, square threads, very well greased. O-ring is also perfectly fine, and you will also get this track to place the threads on the right track as you unscrew it down to the head section. As you can see, we've got some protection foil here to ensure that batteries won't give you some current during the transportation, so remove this one. So after cleaning the contacts from glue with alcohol, the battery pack is good to go. As you can see, the head section here, we've got nice center contact for extreme high current flow and nothing else. Okay, so let's screw down. Perfect thread alignment. Here how smooth it is. Okay, and now we've got it perfectly aligned and we are good to go. So first things first, you can definitely feel first of all the weight on the head section, then obviously the typical Acebeam highest premium quality of anodization, matte finish, no sharp edges, although I can feel a little bit here on this cooling fins edges in certain point, but everything is smooth here when you hold the flashlight. So although I can feel something sharp here, I think it cannot be avoided there due to the geometry. Okay, and looking here, this is the core of philosophy of this flashlight. So 8 Cree XHP70.2 LEDs to deliver 40,000 lumen output. These are cool white, but let me tell you, the beam is excellent. It's smooth, it's nice tint without much discoloration. So although I was suspicious about this one and I was regretting the neutral white tint being replaced with this one on the warehouse when they packed my order, in the long run I think the choice was right. Okay, so we've got a little bit of granulation here, but as you can see the bezel is still aluminum with the hot sign. Obviously we've got anti-reflective hardened glass lens here, and as you can see the cooling fins are massive with all this thermal mass to dissipate the heat. The stainless steel switch feels very well. The tactile feedback is a little bit hard to push, but on the other hand it does not make any noise, but you can definitely feel when you click it. Perfectly for me. And we've got also the power indicator here, so green when the flashlight is between 100 and 30% of power, red will turn on between 30 and 10, and flashing red below 10%, and then you should probably charge your flashlight. But don't worry, even if you don't, the flashlight will turn on itself to preserve the battery pack and the batteries inside. So another thing, we don't have any lockout mode here on this flashlight, but we got some physical lockout here, so this is something I really like about this one. It feels so premium and well designed, so just playing with this lockout lever is pure pleasure. Feel it and hear it. Oh my gosh, the design is brilliant. So this is lockout and this is unlocked. So basically now you can normally press the side switch, but when the lockout is engaged, you actually cannot press it physically. So this is some metal piece under the switch blocking physically the switch from pressing on. This is brilliant, definitely brilliant, and it goes pretty hard enough to make the lockout effective even in your backpack. But obviously you can always unscrew the battery pack. So apart from that, you obviously have some lanyard attachments here on the battery pack, 1 to 3 attachment options, and as you can see we've got some USB-C charging port under very well fitting rubber cover. As you can see we've got the USB-C charging port and a little bit of indicator here. So when you plug the included charger into the port, the LED will glow red when the charging starts, and when the charging is finished it will just disappear. So when there's no LED, you know that the flashlight is fully charged. Actually, this flashlight also has a power bank feature, so you can charge your phone or other flashlights via the discharging protocol. So you just plug in some other flashlight like the Sofirn SC31 for example, with USB-C charging port and USB to USB-C charging cable. So as you can see, other cables also fit. And as you can see, the charging started on the Sofirn, and you also got the discharging indicator, same as charging, so red LED displaying the power bank feature. So very nice overall, works perfectly fine. I've heard some reviewers having problems with included factory charger when the flashlight discharged all the way down and the protection kicked in. They actually reported some problems with charging with included charger. I couldn't detect these problems with my sample, so charger works perfectly fine even with completely depleted 0 voltage battery pack. So very nice, everything works perfectly. Okay, so obviously it can tail stand, it can headstand, and you will still notice some light coming out because of the crenulations. What else can I say here, guys, apart from that this is a beautiful piece of machinery. We've got 8 individual reflectors that are quite deep. I was considering that this one is actually much more shallower reflectors than in reality, but the fact is these are like 3 centimeters deep reflectors, and obviously perfectly finished, beautiful pattern. I can look at this all day. Wow, definitely looking good. Okay, so let's go through the UI real quick. One click for on, one click for off. We've got ultra low mode of around 230 lumens, so hold the side switch to go into the ultra low mode. Obviously this is a search and rescue flashlight, so don't expect to have a 1 lumen moonlight mode, please. This is not the intended use for this flashlight. In this kind of scenario you have to have the minimal amount of light to actually see anything in the dark on a longer distance, so I think this is perfectly fine and fitted for the purpose to have a 230 lumen lowest mode. Alright, then you hold the side switch to cycle between 5 different levels in the loop. Okay, so ultra low is not memorized, so when you turn off and turn on, you've got it a little bit brighter to 650 lumens. This is low. Then you go up by holding the side switch to go into the 2250 lumens, then to 6500 lumens, then 14,000, then 26,000, and then hold again to go into the 650 lumens. And obviously you can anywhere, or either on or off, doesn't matter, double click to go for insane 40,000 lumen. It blinds me. Oh, it's so hot on my hand, I have to turn it off. Oh my gosh, this is crazy output. This is definitely crazy output. Let me show you the pattern here on the lowest ultra low 250 lumens. So the beam pattern basically is really smooth transition between the large spot and then huge amount of light on the spill. And yes, this flashlight does feature quite a wide beam, but most of the light is basically concentrated here. So very usable beam, as you would see on the Beamshot section. I like it that way. And one thing I have to address is that actually the throw in the specs is advertised as 800 meters, and my measurements are actually 640 meters of throw, and according Candelas, and I think this is aligned with other tests on the web right now, so around 650 meters of throw. I don't know why it is this way, but I have to admit that my measurements are a little bit off specs here. Okay, so looking at the runtime graphs here, this is something interesting going on here. So obviously this flashlight has to step down at some point because you cannot fool physics, right? 40,000 lumens in such a compact little package has to result in a fast step down, right? Well, I think Acebeam did it brilliantly. I mean, this is the ANSI rating 40,000 lumens, right? So at the 30 seconds mark you have to hit the declared output. So my measurements suggest that it actually hit almost 45,000 lumens at the start to achieve 40,000 lumens at 30 seconds mark, but still after 42 seconds before the more rapid step down, it was still around 39,000 lumens. After 1 minute mark, so in the middle of the step down, it still had 22,700 lumens, and the step down ended at the 1 minute 15 seconds mark. So after 75 seconds the flashlight stabilized at around 4600 lumen level, and after this one it was perfectly flat for 1.5 hours, and the flashlight body did not exceed 55 degrees, so perfectly safe, perfectly fine, with no turbo resetting here. As you can see, the flat regulation is simply marvelous after such a strong, powerful turbo mode. Okay, so now we've got the high mode of the Acebeam X50. Here obviously the step down also occurred. From my measurements, actually it was not 26,000 lumens, it was more like 30,000 lumens mode. And as you will see in the Beamshot section, my sample does not give such a distinctive difference between the high and the turbo mode, but still here we've got flat 30,000 lumen regulation over the course of 70 seconds before the massive brightness decline that ended at 1 minute 33 seconds mark, with again similar output of 4600 lumens, and then over the course of 1.5 hours flat, perfectly flat regulation of output, and the flashlight got a little bit hotter here, but did not exceed 58 degrees. Okay, something strange started to appear in the mode known as the medium 3, which is technically a 14,000 lumen level. Well, I told you that my sample was a little bit special, and I think this is strictly my sample because I couldn't get the same results as other reviewers, because technically this mode should step down after around 3.5 minutes again to the 4600 lumen level, but mine surprisingly held a little bit lower brightness than 14,000 lumens, but still around 10,000 over the course of 40 minutes, hitting the flashlight to around 90 degrees Celsius, which is amazing result. And then it actually turned off by itself, but after measuring the voltage of the battery pack, I discovered that it was still around 3.33 volts per cell.
Flashlight works perfectly fine after reconnecting the battery pack. Everything's okay. So turbo does not work, but if you try to go into the ultra low, works perfectly fine. Low also, medium 1, medium 2, medium 3, almost there. Perfect.
So I manually turn it on the medium 2 level, which is 6500 lumens, and as you could see the flashlight did operate nicely over the course of another 1 hour. So this is a little bit strange behavior. Probably this is just a special thing of my sample, so please interpret this with a grain of salt, but I don't mind if the flashlight behaves it that way either. I have no reservations here because the stabilization of over 10,000 lumens is simply amazing for a flashlight this size, and even if it's just one sample, it shows you that the Acebeam X50 has amazing thermal capabilities and sustainable output perspective. Alright, let's move to the medium 2, which is fully sustainable normal mode of 6500 lumens. Here the flashlight did not exceed 70 degrees, so probably this is the maximum amount of temperature you can get from this flashlight without any special treatments. So over the course of 70 minutes I got the fully sustainable 6500 lumens. This is a little bit shorter than the manufacturer declares, but is perfectly aligned with other test samples that I found on the internet. For example, 1 lumen, 0 error org. So this is again perfectly aligned with other test samples sent on the market. Very, very respectable and nice result. And then last but not least, the medium 1 mode. So this is around 2250 lumens. Again, perfectly flat regulations, perfectly flat beam for around 3 hours and 20 minutes, and then step down to get you the declared by the manufacturer 3 hours and 40 minutes of runtime. So still the flashlight did not exceed 42 degrees, perfectly fine and flat regulation, which is amazing result again. So if you're looking for, you know, more sustainable output for longer time, this is probably a good mode to use, because over 2000 lumens is still a nice amount of light, and the runtime is very respectable. Alright guys, let me show you the handle real quick. As you might probably notice, I haven't used it yet, so as you can see we can attach it to the standard 1/4 inch tripod mount here, and without any tools. The Acebeam did it very right, and as you can see it does feature some groove here to accommodate this piece of metal here, so everything aligns just perfectly fine, doesn't wiggle or something. So this is definitely a well thought premium design from Acebeam, highest quality on the market. You won't regret it, definitely. So as you can see, I can screw it down pretty tightly with my bare hands, and now we've got heat-proof design to actually hold the flashlight. One thing I would improve is that actually, as you can see here in this design, you don't have access to the switch on the handle. You just have to rotate the flashlight, and the side switch is just on the opposite end of the flashlight, which is something weird. I would like to see some, even maybe not remote switch, but maybe just a pin that will be just above the switch, so when you press the switch on the handle, the pin will go down and press the physical switch. But apart from that, the design is really well made, and the handle might get handy. Okay, quick size comparison, so you can imagine how compact this Acebeam X50 actually is. So this is the Sophrin Q8 Pro, the identical dimensions as the original BLF Q8. Okay, so this is the 11,000 lumen flashlight. Originally it was 5,000 lumen, and this one is 40,000 lumens. As you can see, it is very compact for that power, and can still manage the heat very well. Another size comparison, the Astrolux MF01. This is the 12,000 lumen flashlight. Size wise, as you can see, pretty similar. And last but not least, the TrueNight TN36 limited edition, the True Sustainability King 11,000 lumen flashlight with 3 same LEDs, actually neutral white, but the footprint and the model of LED is the same. And the TrueNight will actually probably have to give place of the Sustainability King right to the right, because I believe my sample can still sustain higher output than the TrueNight TN36 Limited. And last but not least, this is the Hakalite MT09R. As you can see, this was up to date my most powerful flashlight with 18,000 lumens from 3 XHP70.2 LEDs. Here we've got 8 of them, and although the range is pretty similar, as you can see, the depth of the reflector is, but look at the size of these flashlights. I mean, you can clearly see the advantage of packability of the X50, but obviously on the other hand, turbo mode can be sustained longer by the MT09R, but let's face it, 18,000 lumens versus 40,000 and the size difference definitely makes here the point. Alright guys, I think I've showed you everything I wanted to say about this flashlight, and now let's go to the forest and show you some amazing beam shots of this beast.
Okay, so this is low mode of the Acebeam X50. This thing is crazy bright, but let's jump up a little bit. So this is medium 1, medium 2, medium 3, high, and turbo. Wow, this is crazy. I try to set the camera just as I say it, so this is definitely overexposuring everything. It's so damn bright. Hits up a little bit, but still holding the brightness. This is crazy. This is definitely crazy. Not reaching the throw claimed by the manufacturer, but 640 meters is still plenty of light distance for the such compact shallow reflector floodlight like this Acebeam X50. Okay, it's starting to getting hot and stepping down, as you can see. Probably I have to move my hand a little bit backwards because it's getting really hot. Okay, I can probably tell by now that it's stepping down. Okay, it stepped down to around 4000 lumens. So now let me just quickly jump up again to turbo mode. There is a difference, huh?
Arclight MT-09R versus Acebeam X50. Sovereign Q8 Pro versus Acebeam X50.
This is the highest sustainable output, 6500 lumens of 6500 Kelvin light. This is definitely a respectable output for a flashlight this size to hold constantly. You can clearly see everything in front of you, like 100 meters, maybe even more. This is a floodlight, so as you can see, everything is lit up 120 degrees of light. Actually a very nice output for a walk and even for search and rescue. I think this is enough light to see and use, not to blind everybody. But on the other hand, maybe you would like to go a little bit higher to 14,000 lumens, or maybe to 26,000, or maybe you just double press to go into the turbo mode. Wow, this is crazy. Let's just stick to 6,500, shall we?
Alright, let's sum it up, guys. I'm so amazed with this flashlight. I mean, obviously I was looking forward to reviewing this one. I paid with my own money to receive the sample with some reviewer discount, but yet, well, I don't regret any amount of money spent on it. I think it is worth the price. Well, first of all, I didn't expect it to be so tiny and compact for the output. I was expecting much bigger head, and the overall construction is so tiny, so compact. This is truly a tiny monster. The build quality and finish is as always top notch with Acebeam, and you can clearly feel that the engineers made the highest effort to create such powerful yet tiny construction to meet search and rescue and other enthusiast needs. Obviously, some guys have reservations about the battery pack, why you cannot have spare batteries to just throw in your regular Samsung 40Ts or something like that. Acebeam obviously tries to explain that without the battery pack, the internal resistance would be too much and the output couldn't be achieved from such amount of LEDs. I'm not a technical guy, I cannot tell, but believe me or not, when I can fully charge the battery in 1.5 hours, I don't care about spare batteries, really. I mean, I don't. I can charge it from the wall adapter that is included, or even from the more powerful power bank for laptops, for example. So with such charging time, I don't mind having the battery pack, and if you need a spare one, you can always buy it for a little bit steep amount of price, but still you can do it. So if you don't want to wait or have to have the amount of light immediately, then you can buy spare ones and no problem. So basically the design is excellent, guys, and I don't know what else to tell you. I'm amazed. I'm really amazed. What Acebeam did with this construction is truly pushing boundaries of the high power searchlight of this size. So definitely, if you have such amount of money to spend for a fun flashlight or simply a tool, because let's face it, this is not unreal flashlight, this is a real tool that will survive really harsh conditions and will give you a safe, reliable performance even at the most demanding trips and adventures. So if you're hesitating because of the battery pack, please don't. If you're hesitating because the output is a little bit too exaggerated, well, in my opinion, it isn't. If you have some other reservations, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try to answer your questions. Definitely recommending this one to you. Excellent product, outstanding performance, and as always, excellent job, Acebeam. If you're listening to this, I really admire you, and thank you for listening to the flashlight community with all your special editions of your flashlight. So guys, thank you for joining in. I hope I answered all of the aspects of this new Acebeam X50. If I didn't, please leave your question in the comment section below. As always, click the thumbs up and subscribe button to help the algorithm and grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.